to join us over tea this morning for this documentary series of history from a Moravian chaplain based in Ballymore. So I guess when I came to Ballymore the first thing I noticed when I was stationed here were the gates inside the church, Sacred Heart Church, Ballymore. They were awarded by a man called Joseph Grogan, Esquire, in 1903. Now, Joseph Grogan, people often talk about famous horse trainers and famous jockeys and famous military officers. No, it's not so long before Joseph Grogan's time that a Roman Catholic, was refused ownership of a horse valued at over 30 shillings. It's not so long ago since Mass was said in Marlow at the time of the penal laws at a Mass rock in a private location. It's not so long ago since a Catholic was banned from holding a commission in the armed time known as the penal law. So that's what I remember from Ballymore Church. It's a historical building based on that faith. The first grave inside in Temple Roman Cemetery is Mr. Joseph Fitzgerald. He was a local notable in the time of the 1880s who did very well for himself. No, there was a great battle here in 1450, and the last earldom of Desmond, Mr. Fitzgerald, in the 9th of November 1450, was put in the Tower of London by Elizabeth I. The Fitzgerald family were an Anglo-Welsh family who spent their time clearing their names ever since. Of course, Joseph's son John James was lost at sea in an accidental drowning. He is a saint in heaven of that graveyard, along with other unmarked graves. When I say the morning prayer, I say a prayer to Saint Stephen, my patron saint by middle name. Saint Stephen is the patron saint of casket makers, and they would have stayed up all night, often and off all weathers, with no pay, often with no food, in the time of great peril, drownings, great war, massacres, tragedies, misunderstandings, time of suffering and pestilence, potato famine, plague. They would have stayed up the great hunger, it was called. Coffin makers are the most powerful saints on Great Island. So remember to say the prayer to Saint Stephen. I am campaigning for a dedication to Saint Stephen, a stained glass window in Cove Cathedral, and also in Ballymore Church. It's very important to have the right symbolism. I'm also campaigning for a statue where the Bishop's Palace is similar to the Great Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro, at maybe 30 meters high statue of Saint Sebastian with the 3 arrows in his ribcage, in commemoration of the patron saint of athletes and soldiers. Cove so famous for athletes and soldiers and marine soldiers. So now we'll look at the Mikhailovich children and who they represent. Olga is the patron saint of children. She gives people who had a bad childhood a happy time in adult life, like myself playing the piano there. Grade 2 pieces, grade 1 pieces, I don't know. No discipline, just happiness is what Olga guarantees. Pray to pray for the repose of Olga Mikhailovich. So around the time of her anniversary, the 18th of July, when she was brutally murdered by brutes. Tashana is the patron saint of writers and academia, scribes, noble scribes, as it says in the sacred Quran, erudite, scholarly people. Tashana Mikhailovich, pray for her. Maria Mikhailovich is the patron saint of mums, motherhood, caring for young people, childcare, upbringing of children, decency. Maria Mikhailovich, pray for Maria Mikhailovich. Anastasia is patron saint of good humor, fun, comedy, humor, wit, smiling, and general lightheartedness. Always the cheekier girl and poking fun at the other's piety. Pray for Anastasia Mikhailovich. Alexei is the patron saint of mariners. He was brutally murdered by the Red Army and denied the kingdom of Russia. Therefore, he inherited the kingdom of heaven. He was always a Russian Navy man and had no association with the Red Army. His best friend was an officer's son. They used to play together all the time, and a naval officer. And dear Alexei guards mariners across the seven seas to this day, where he is released. Pray for the Republic of Parliament. So, on his 120th birthday, 12th of August, join us.